Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 13 of my Skylines series, Ardes. So, in the last episode, we were finally at the point where we were starting to get into the get into the night time and getting more modern buildings. And today we'll proceed with this, and we'll go ahead and start placing more buildings and even more detailing in this episode. Today everything is on the harbor. That's due to the fact that I just wanted to finish this off in at least I think 3 episodes it is for now, and I didn't want it to have about 10 episodes just building my harbor because this wouldn't be interesting for you. So there will be 3 episodes of this harbor, and after this one we will proceed with another area. And another area I already know what I will be doing there, but I won't tell too much right now because there might be an different idea that I will get and that I will choose then over this one that I have right now. So it is just like so much to say that it will be a very crowded space and that I want to have the feeling of a big downtown. So what you can see me building there is just like placing a lot of trees and bushes just to get this whole thing look alive. And this was pretty different and difficult for me because I wanted it to be looking like every tree there is planted and it is maybe newly planted and this whole area isn't that old. So I thought about getting smaller trees and just some bigger ones, but a lot of them are very small and are just like fun decoration there. So yes, right there you can see me building the pathways just to get everything in place and making everything look good and realistic. So I actually think that this whole series is coming together quite well because I have the possibility of getting a very modern looking thing and I'm having a very old thing on the same save, and this is awesome for me because I have to build both things and I like to verify, just like to justify all of the areas, and everything has this own like look and style. So yes, as you can see there, I'm using I think 5 different trees in this whole thing, and this is quite a lot for such a new area, and I thought it would fit quite well, and yes, it fits quite well. So yes, so right now we're just like detailing a bit more with decals and then also adding in some benches and just some stuff like this. I've wanted to add these decals just maybe because breaking up this whole modern look there, because it should look modern but not too extremely new, because it is very new but not extremely new, and this is something that could also happen in like the first winter of this whole thing, so staying there. Why? Because actually it is quite a big problem, at least in Austria, that all of the concrete is cracking due to the cold, and yes, this is something that I wanted to add in there as a detail, and so I did it. So here I just added this like small baseball baskets because I thought it would make a great detail so that we can show that there are people that are living there, and yes, also added in some benches just again for the living theory about this whole thing. And yes, so there was just like looking at some assets and props that I got and was thinking about what I could do there and how I could do it. And just thinking about some things like fences, but I didn't choose there, didn't place anything. So right now we're coming to a very interesting point in some seconds, that is parking, like parking, elevated parking garage. What I mean with this is we are building an elevated parking that will have something kind of a different height from everything else there, because I thought this would look pretty nice, and this is something to add in some details, not too many, and yes, I can just like use these details like something elevated parking to make everything look realistic and don't have to place so many buildings there, because if you would place more buildings there, you would have even more people living there, because right now we have about 1,000 people in this small area, and this is extreme. This is so much for a small city part like this, so I thought, no, this is definitely enough, and I will stay with the amount of people living there. So there I was just like going ahead with my parking lot and placing a big one there, because why not? And this would also be needed for 1,000 people, and actually the people are also using it. So there are actually, I think, about 20 cars, like nearly all of the time staying there and parking. And this is awesome for me, because I wouldn't thought about getting so many different cars parking there in the first time there, because as you all know, in City Skylines the sims need quite a lot of time to get used to something. And I'm sorry if you're hearing some weird sounds in the background. My dog is in my room and I don't know what he's doing there, but he's doing something. I see you, buddy, I see you. So back to the video. I'm sorry, I was just talking with my dog because he was looking at me. Right now there I'm just like aligning all the heights for this parking lot for sims to use it, and I've wanted to make a custom wall there with detailing, and just like to get in something like a harder project, because I'm making everything pretty easy in the last projects of mine. So I thought about getting a bit more difficult thing in there. This was also the main reason to build a harbor, because it's quite difficult to work with terrain heights and working with water in specific, because it is just water in this game and it is awful sometimes. I got so many problems when building it, that the water was too high, too low, then it was so extremely high that there was a tsunami killing everyone there, and rebuilding it, so there was quite a lot to do, I have to say, but it turned out in the end pretty nicely and it looks awesome, so I think it was definitely worth it. There are definitely some parts that I would have to fix, but I will fix a lot of them off camera, because they're just like plopping down grass, stuff like this, because of this sharp edge that you can see right at the wall of our area. And yes, this is something that I have to do off camera. So actually I want to do it off camera, because it would annoy me if I would see it in the YouTube video, so I won't do it in this video that much. I also cut out all the part of placing the grass, because it's always the same procedural, and I didn't want it to just like bore you with it. So yes, we will from now on just take place in all the walls and getting everything in there, and yes. So at this point I will leave you, and I'm saying thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video I would appreciate if you'd consider liking this video and subscribe to me. It helps me a lot and you can show me your support with it. And with this said, thank you for watching, hopefully see you in another video, and have a great day. Bye.